Hello, everyone. How are you all doing, beautiful people? I hope you're all doing well. And it's nice to catch up again on another episode of Ruth's Diaries channel. Yeah. And on today's episode, we are going to be showing you the London Eye. Lovelies, if you've been following my videos, you would realize that I've posted the first part of this London Eye video where we talked about the Millennium Wheel, which is the cantilevered observation wheel on the south bank of the River Thames in London. It is the Europe's tallest cantilevered observation wheel and the most popular paid tourist attraction in the United Kingdom, with over 3 million visitors annually. It has made many appearances in popular culture. The structure of that wheel is 135 meters, which is 444 feet tall, and the wheel has a diameter of 120 meters, which is 394 feet. You can just imagine how beautiful it is. That's why it is known as the most paid tourist attraction, because people are always there. There are so many tourists, so many visitors that just want to experience this. It's really a very beautiful one. And if you know you live around London, you haven't been to the London Eye, what are you waiting for? Guys, you are just you're just not part of London yet, okay? All right, lovelies. So welcome back again to this second part of the London Eye, which is going to be the river cruise, the river boat cruise. Did you hear me well? Did you hear your girl well? It's called the river boat cruise. Guys, if you haven't got your ticket, don't forget to go get your ticket first before you board the boats. They won't even let you in if you haven't purchased your ticket. All right, lovelies, let's dive into a brief summary of what this London boats river cruise is all about. I know you want to experience it. It's a very beautiful experience. It's very beautiful. You heard your girl right. So please do yourself a favor. If you live around London, just take a tour around it, okay? And if you don't live around London, it is worth experiencing. It's not a lot of money. It should cost you about £14 thereabout, or yeah, I think for adults, and for children it's going to be less than £14. So guys, you want to check it out, okay? All right, lovelies, I'm gonna show you guys around. You trust your girl, you trust me. Hey lovelies, I'll catch up with you guys. At this point, lovelies, we were waiting to board into the boat. As you can see, I think there's quite a process, but it's not a very difficult process. You just have to join the queue, wait until it's your turn, then you show your ticket and you'll be allowed into the boat. This London Eye River cruise is a magnificent experience. This was a 40-minute river boat excursion that navigates through London's most famous landmark, which offers iconic view of the House of Parliament, Big Ben, which is also known as the Palace of Westminster, St. Paul's Cathedral, the Till Modern, Tower of London, the Shakespeare Globe, Tower Bridge, and more other beautiful sights. I think we'd love to go upstairs.
Please do. Just
Thank you.
Standing up there, but you're welcome to take photos.
All right, cheers.
You're welcome.
The river boat cruise is a sightseeing circular tour within making stops at other piers throughout the duration of the cruise. Just in case you're wondering about what is included in this boat trip, guys, you've got a 40-minute circular boat tour around the River Thames. Yeah. You have a live commentary by one of the expert guides to fill you with everything you need to know about the city of London. There is also the audio commentary, which is available in English, French, German, Spanish, Dutch, Italian, Czech, Hindu, Polish, and Portuguese. A British Sign Language guide is on the indoor deck. Wheelchair access. Visit their link for more information on wheelchair accessibility.
My name is Mark, and I will be your guide for the cruise. Now, I will repeat one of the things it said on the safety announcement, and that is if you are on the upper deck, do please remain seated. The reason we stress that point is because the captain does need to see where we're going, and if you stand up, you will obstruct his vision, which could potentially be very dangerous. So that's why we ask you to remain seated. Something else we'd like to do is that when we go under the bridge, we wave at people on the bridge. So we're going under Westminster Bridge. Let's give everyone a wave. I'll introduce the crew to you. We have Captain Chris, he is driving us. We also have on board Captain George. We have my friend Stephanie. Downstairs we have Kieran and Ian. And behind the bar we have Ross. We are the crew of the Silver Bullet, so I hope you enjoy your time with us today. Now on our right hand side we can see one of the most beautiful buildings in London. This is the Palace of Westminster, that's its proper name. It's often referred to as the Houses of Parliament because that is what it contains. There are two houses, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. It was in St Thomas's Hospital Florence Nightingale established the Nightingale Training School for Nurses. Florence Nightingale became famous for her work in the hospital camps of the Crimean War. And when the war was over, she came back to London and, with permission from Queen Victoria, established her training school. And to this day, the nurses of St Thomas's are sometimes called Nightingales in honour of Florence Nightingale. She had the nickname of the Lady with the Lamp because she used to walk through the wards at night carrying a lamp with her. Now on our left hand side, at the northern end of the Palace of Westminster, we can see the famous clock tower. Now there is a tendency to call it Big Ben, but that is not strictly correct. Big Ben is the name of the bell inside the tower, it is not the name of the tower itself. It's correct to say you heard Big Ben, it is not correct to say you saw Big Ben. You saw the Elizabeth Tower. It's only been named that for the last 10 years because it was named in 2012 to coincide with the Diamond Jubilee of our late Queen, Elizabeth II. Regarding Big Ben, it weighs 13.7 tonnes, it chimes the number of hours, and it's been out of action for the last 5 years. But yesterday it chimed for 11 o'clock on Remembrance Day for the first time, with the exception of New Year's Eve and Remembrance from now onwards. So that clock tower has had a good refurbish over the last 5 years. Now we're heading towards Westminster Bridge once again. It was designed by Thomas Page, completed in 1862, made of cast iron from Thames Ironworks in the East End. Let's wave at people on on our right hand side, County Hall. It was the home of London's local government until the abolition of the Greater London Council in 1986 by Margaret Thatcher's government. Nowadays, County Hall is the home of the Sea Life Aquarium. It is the home of the Shrek Cathedral, to open on the 31st of December 1999 as part of the Millennium celebrations. But in keeping with British tradition, it was not ready on time. It actually opened in March 2000. It stands 443 feet or 135 metres tall, and there are 32 capsules, each one of them representing one of London's boroughs. But do not be alarmed if you climb onto capsule number 33, because there is no capsule number 13. We did away with it for superstitious reasons. It will take you half an hour for a complete rotation, and on a clear day you can see 25 miles or 40 kilometres from the top. You can get married on the London Eye. As you reach the top, age were away fighting in the conflict, so the construction of Waterloo Bridge was mainly the work of women. And for that reason we sometimes call it the Ladies' Bridge. and it is the longest bridge in London. So well done, the ladies. Give yourselves a cheer.
Waterloo Bridge.
On our right-hand side, we can see behind that line of trees, that is the National Theatre. That style of architecture is known as brutalist, and it's not to everyone's liking. One person who doesn't like it is our new King Charles III. When he was Prince of Wales, he would sometimes comment on modern architecture, and he said of that building that it looks like the rear end of a nuclear power station. It looks a lot nicer if you go inside. There are 3 theatres, including the Olivier Theatre, which takes its name from Sir Laurence Olivier. Coming up on our right hand side, we can see this, what looks like a block of flats. In fact, it used to be the home of ITV, the second largest broadcaster in the country. They have now moved away, and that block will shortly be demolished. But ITV brought us such wonderful educational programmes as Love Island, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and the Jeremy Kyle Show. And by the side of the river, beneath that block, is Gabriel's Wharf. It's a good place to go if you like your food, because there's lots of different vendors selling different types of street food. And we can see that sandy coloured beach on the right hand side. This summer, just gone, we had some record temperatures in this country. It was warmer here sometimes than it was on the Mediterranean. So why bother flying out there when you could have come here, the London Riviera? And we can see this red brick building in front of us on the right, the red brick building with the white stripes and the tower on top. It started life as a power station, but it got taken over by Oxo, the company that make the stock cubes. There is a ban on advertising along the banks of the River Thames, and for that reason their original proposals were rejected. But they went back to the drawing board and came up with a very clever idea. The letters in the tower are actually windows laid out in that shape, and therefore that counts as part of the structure. Therefore it's not just advertising, and that was allowed. But Oxo have now long gone, and in there you'll find cafes, you'll find bars, you'll find arts and craft shops, and near the top you'll find the Harvey Nichols restaurant. And as we continue downstream, in front of us to the left we will see the dome of St Paul's Cathedral. It's the 5th St Paul's to stand on the site. The previous one was destroyed in the Great Fire of London of 1666. The cathedral we know today was designed by Sir Christopher Wren and built after the Great Fire. It took 35 years to build. It was completed in 1710, standing 365 feet tall, 1 foot for every day of the year. It was in St Paul's Cathedral that our king, when he was Prince of Wales, he married Lady Diana Spencer in there. That was in 1981, and she became Princess Diana. She was the mother of Prince William and Prince Harry. And it is worth a mention that today it is the birthday of our King, Charles III. He is 74 years old today. So he spent most of his life serving an apprenticeship at an age when most people have retired. We're coming up now to Blackfriars Bridge, opened in 1869 by Queen Victoria. The area on the left is the area known as Blackfriars. And hundreds of years ago there was a Dominican friary where the friars wore black mantles over their robes, and hence they became known as the Black Friars. Elsewhere in London we also have White Friars and Grey Friars. And as we go under the bridge, we'll give a wave to anyone up there. Bird table. This is Blackfriars Railway Bridge. And coming up on our right hand side, we can see the building of the big square chimney. Now this was Bankside Power Station. It was designed by Sir Charles Gilbert Scott, the man who also designed Waterloo Bridge and the classic red telephone box. But as a power station, this fell into disuse in the 1980s and was derelict for a few years until 2000 when it reopened with a completely different function. It is now the home of the Tate Modern, a gallery of modern art that is free to get in. Now, if modern art is not your thing, there is a cocktail bar at the top where you can go and have lots of cocktails and the art will look a lot better. Also in the year 2000, we opened this next bridge. This is the Millennium Bridge. So its name is a bit of a clue as to when it opened, but it was a national embarrassment because it wobbled to and fro. We had to close it down and make it safe, and it reopened a year and a half late. We actually spent more money putting the bridge right than we did building it in the first place. As you can see, it does not wobble anymore. It's not going to get rid of the nickname the Wobbly Bridge in a hurry. Coming up on our right hand side, we can see the half timber building. This is the Globe Theatre. The original Globe Theatre was destroyed by fire, but this is an accurate replica to get the Globe Theatre rebuilt. They stayed true to the original building methods, using hand tools instead of electric power tools, using hand-carved oak beams and wooden pegs to hold it together. We had to go to recognition that the factory started the Great Fire of London. Factories were banned from central London. Now the original Globe Theatre stood a bit further back from the river, behind where you see that tall extent 13. There was a performance of Henry VIII, and as part of the performance the cannon was fired. A stray spark from the cannon landed on the roof, it set it alight, and the theatre burned down. We are coming up now to Southwark Bridge, statistically the least used bridge in London. But I think it's one of the prettiest. Designed by Sir Ernest George, it was completed in 1921. But that pub is haunted. There are certainly spirits behind the bar. This is Cannon Street Railway Bridge, and on the left-hand side, Cannon Street Station, which was built as the City of London terminus for the South Eastern Railway. Now, come out on the right-hand side, if you look between the brick buildings, you will see another replica. This is a replica of the Golden Hind, the shipping which Sir Francis Drake sailed all the way around the world. Sir Francis Drake was the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe. He completed his voyage in 1580. At that time, England was enemies with Spain, and Drake stole lots of gold from Spanish ships. So much so, Queen Elizabeth I put a cathedral, and one of the people buried here is Edmund Shakespeare, the brother of William Shakespeare. Now we're coming up to London Bridge. This is the latest of many London bridges.
Okay, London Bridge, look at London Bridge.
The second in 1973. You'll be pleased to know it is not falling down. It can accommodate 10,000 vehicles a day. You will see the monument to the Great Fire of London. It's a single standing column with a golden orb on top. There it is. 202 feet or 61 metres, the tallest single standing column in the world. And if we were to lay it down to the right, the top of the monument would be 52 livery company halls and over 13,000 houses. But from the ashes of the old medieval city rose a new city of brick and stone, and was safer than its predecessor had been. Now they banned wooden houses, they banned thatched roofs, and they made the roads wider. Now I do need to urge you on the top deck, do please remain seated as D-Day. The last action that HMS Belfast saw was in the Korean War in the early 1950s. But it is...
Hey lovelies, if you've watched to this extent, thank you so much. You were super amazing. Thank you for always keeping up with Ruthie's Diaries channel. I love you load, and you know that. After the boat cruise, we had to go chill. That's a lovely coffee and cake.